Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. This is just an let's say update to the mail call Monday, Tuesday debacle. I did get the other part in, so I decided to go ahead and make another video. Plus, one of our faithful subscribers, one of many, emailed me last night and gave me a tip on another method. I kind of was familiar with that, but I never really paid it much mind because I don't have that material around me to use, and by the time I purchase it and then I have to keep purchasing it doesn't waiver the purchase of what I bought. It is a great option for balling on a budget. And I got some stats here that I want to go over, so you get a comparative and maybe just a little bit better understanding of where I'm coming from with this. So first, I'm not going to take them out of the package yet because we'll do a little video when I actually use them. But you can kind of see what maybe I can get them out pretty easy. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, I guess I can. They're a really good, stiff, plastic, kind of clear, maybe a milky haze to it. The bottom is stainless steel. And that's pressed in with heat, so it just doesn't come out. But you can see, this is, you're done using it, you rinse it out with whatever you're using, thinner, soap and water, and it's ready to go again. So, I guess my claim, well, here, let's do this first. This is straight off the back of the package. Model number UA90001. Model paint special purification cup. Choose acid, alkali, resistant PPP, and made of stainless steel. Preceded by special pressing process for filtering oil, dust, impurities, and insoluble particles in paint. Easy to spray, the perfect finish, add the icing on the cake. So, any type of paint we use here in the hobby, as far as acrylic, lacquer, enamel, so on and so forth, these can be used for. And whatever method you normally clean your paintbrush out or your airbrush afterwards is what you'd use to clean this with. So, very small, easy to store. They are stackable because you can tell by the funnel shape. My price, what I paid for these, I paid $12.95 for two of them, so it's $6.50 basically a piece. For something that's going to last you forever. Warrant, you drop it, you step on it, whatever, or you leave it and the paint adheres to everything really good, and then you can't get the paint out and it's not worth the effort type thing. But pretty much this would last forever. And two of them probably would never be enough if you're doing multiple paint jobs at one time. So you probably want to buy two sets, so to give you four of them, just forever. They'd last forever basically. It's $7.95 for shipping, so my total is $20.90. Okay. Now, I went ahead and did a little more research to be able to back up what I was saying on the paper filters. They work great. I've used them. I'm not knocking the performance of a paper filter. To order those, now that's just from Hobbyist Haven. Other people get different prices, and I gather that. But from Hobbyist Haven, you get 10 to 50 of them. And I guess that's how you can order. 10 to 50 pieces. 50 pieces would be $11.95 plus $7.95 shipping. 10 of them would be $7.95. So the price goes from $7.95 up to $11.95 plus $7.95 for shipping. So if I ordered 50 of these, they would come out to about the same price as what I paid for these. Now, 50 of them, because that's usually what I get at a time when I go to the body shop. He gives me like 50 of them at a time. I can use up to 3 or 4 of those in a day. Just painting. If I'm painting all the little parts and I strain my paint, I do what I'm supposed to do, I can use up 3 or 4 or more of those in a day. So, if I was doing that consistently, which I don't, you can see it's about a 10-day supply. And then I got to reorder. So now I'm paying the $20.95 or $20.90, basically $21, over and over and over again. Now, if you get them free somewhere, power to you. To me, they are 100% a waste because there's nothing left that's reusable. I mean, you could take the paper and make little what's left of it and cut it in two and cut them to rectangles and use them for notepads, I guess. If you're trying to be conservative. To me, it's a total waste. And the material it's made from is our trees, and like I said before, I'm not a tree hugger, but I do like the fact that there's forestry. I don't like the fact that we take forestry away and it pushes the animals out. Then we want to sit around and complain that the bears are getting into my garbage, the cougars are coming out and they're attacking our pets. You're taking their home away. Doesn't matter if it's here in the United States, it's, a third world country, or any country for that matter. Yes, we have to control the growth of trees. If not, Mother Earth would take back over and redo everything. It'd be a big jungle everywhere. I get all that, but what is there, we shouldn't be touching and taking away. There's other methods that can be done. This, like I said, this isn't any better for our environment, because if I just threw this away when I was done with it, that's a hunk of plastic that'll probably never deteriorate, and fill up the landfills, out in the ocean, wherever it may end up. It's not good either. But the thing of it is I'm not constantly feeding paper waste into the environment. Even though paper would deteriorate faster, it's kind of putting back to the earth. It could be mixed in with soil, compost. I understand and get all that. But why waste money? This is just my opinion, guys. Why waste money? So 10 of them, or let's say we order 50. Say you order those 3 times a year. That's $63 you spent. Okay? I ordered these one time and I paid $21. Now, this is all hypothetical, and if you only order from Hobbyist Haven, I'm not being, it's not written in stone. But I ordered these one time, so I saved $42 that I could have spent on a really nice tool, or I could have got a couple model kits. Everything pertaining to the hobby only, guys, not real life stuff. I mean, the trees kind of blend into our hobby. I mean, because, I wrote on a piece of paper that was made from a tree also. But I didn't do it. Somebody made a flyer. I'm repurposing it by keeping notes on it, and then when I fill it all up completely, then I will burn it, turn it to ash, and I will sprinkle it in our flower beds. I do believe in recycling. I do believe in trying to control what we have, and there's proper places you can drop off your plastic where they can recycle it. It gets separated, the metal would get separated out of this, the plastic would get chewed up, and it would go into remaking new plastic bottles for like Gatorade. You say, well, trust me, I worked at a Gatorade, it wasn't Gatorade, but I worked at a plant. I ran a Sidel, and we made Gatorade bottles, all the sizes. I made all Heinz ketchup. If you guys remember when the plastic beer bottles came out for Miller Lite, I made those too. Big, huge chunk of all that stuff is all from recycled plastic. And it's different from the new stuff when it comes in, trust me. So, lesser of a footprint, more chances this would get recycled and reused, because even though this would go back into the earth, and it would deteriorate fast. And it's unsightly seeing a bunch of paper everywhere, but if it was composted right, we wouldn't really see it. And yes, but we're still taking trees away to make this product. This is made by chemicals. So the lesser of two evils in the long run. Guys, trees take a long time to grow before they can be harvested again. If you clear out a couple thousand acres of forestry to put in a subdivision, a mini mall, a gas station, a few restaurants, whatever it may be, think of all those animals that live in that area. Now they're pushing deeper into the forest. So now their areas are becoming overcrowded where animals are spread out. It's just like humans. We span out, we build, and then China, Japan, look at it. They can only go up because there's nowhere to go out. All the outland is all protected, sacred, whatever it is, so they don't go out, spread out further. Sorry guys, I've been cutting grass all morning and allergies. So, there's probably 20 or 30 different methods of this. And all I'm getting at is, for the average guy, like I would do, if I wasn't getting them for free, I would buy them. And I was buying them for a while. Until it dawned on me, hey, I can get some at the body shop. And, and they had a huge box of them. He said, here, just take like 50 of them. And each time I go up there, I get like 50 of them. But I'd go through them in a month and a half. And I have to go get more. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not innocent. I'm just as guilty. This is just an alternative to that. And yet blends into balling on a budget, because we're not panning out $21 every couple months for 50 more filters. Unless you're getting them for free, and then it's no big deal. But just remember that what had to be given up to get, and that was trees. So if that makes me a tree hugger, I guess I'm a tree hugger. I don't know. I don't stand behind all that and go green. I drive combustible engines. I cut grass with a combustible engine on it. I use oil. I use gasoline. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm just saying, when I'm bowling on a budget, and I've got a budget, and I know throughout the year pretty much how much money's coming in each month to my budget. So I may take 2 months and then buy these. But then I know I don't have to buy them anymore, and it serves the purpose that I'd normally be every couple months spending $21 on, or $15, wherever you get them at, whatever price you pay for them. So that leads me into, and again guys, we will do a little video on how they work and my opinion on them. I've not personally used them. I've seen people use them and then talk about them, and they praise them. They work very well. It's nice that they can be re-cleaned up and reused. If people are saying that about it, I've heard at least 5 people. I don't have to buy the paper filters anymore. I don't have to ask my buddy for them. These I reuse, clean it out in just a couple of seconds, and it's ready to go again. That's the key thing. So, good example. Let's say we all order from Hobbyist Haven. We all order these. Let's say there's what? This is exaggeration, guys. 10,000 modelers that actually use an airbrush. Now here's the guts to that also. It's not just us using airbrush, guys. Professional hobbyists that mix up their own paints, and then they pour them into a container, and then they'll put it from there to a wet palette or a dry palette, whatever it may be. When they're still straining their paints. Even though they're not airbrushing, they're brushing, they still strain their paints. They still work for them too. So let's just say 5 million hobbyists, no matter what they build, are mixing paints, straining paints, and then alternatively using them to keep it from getting garbage in their paint. If we all did this, and let's say these lasted us, exaggeration again guys, let's say these lasted us 15 years. I could see these lasting 15 years if they're taken care of. That's 15 years that we need a little less trees. A little less forestry has to be taken away for demand. That's why can't remember what year it started. Big push for going paperless. There's a reason for that, guys. It's because they see that for every tree they take, they plant like 10 trees. But those 10 trees take about 10 years to be of size to chop down and use. Now there's garbage weed trees that they shred that crap up. It's a weed. It would grow in just a couple years and be 10 feet tall and be about a 3-foot round trunk on it. They take those down, they chew them up, and that's used for different types of plywood. Some of it goes into paper. There's alternative methods they're using, but in the same fact, they're still taking away trees. And it's not just for paper, it's for building materials, it's, all kinds of things, but it still happens. So for 15 years, we can put less of a dent in Mother Earth and then dispose of these properly. When you're done with it or it's no longer usable, dispose of it properly. Clean it really well and then throw it in a plastic recycling bin. Take your hobby knife and cut out the stainless steel metal on the bottom of it and put it in with the normal plastic. That'll get recycled and reused, repurposed for something else. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. But that leads us to my friend Ron, lives up in Canada. Like I said, he's a faithful subscriber, watches the channel every video. Thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate it. He gave me this method. Like I said, I've kind of heard of it. It's I know a few people that do use it, and it is balling on the budget 100%. So we all use these to a degree or something of this nature. You can even get these to where they're reusable. You can clean them out, reuse them. You gotta let it dry. These are even reusable if you want to take the effort to clean all the paint out of it, and it's just not worth the effort. I dispose of these into plastic. I clean them the best I can, then I put them in a plastic recycling bin. I don't just throw them in the garbage. But anyways, if your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, your mother, your grandmother, an aunt that is close by to you, ask for their old pantyhose or their knee highs or anything made out of pantyhose, because they are what's the word that they're made out of? The material they're made out of, the paint thinners and lacquers and stuff like that ain't gonna hurt it. You'd want to cut like a 3-inch square, cut them out into 3-inch squares, and then you just take it and dip it just a little ways down into your cup, and then put a rubber band around the cup. Now you can pour your paints through it, strain them, and then throw that little piece of pantyhose away. So if you have access to something like that, which my wife doesn't ever wear them, so every great once in a while she'll get them for a special event, and yes, that's when I've used them and used them for this purpose. But it's a great ball on the budget, because if they've already bought them and they're just going to throw them away anyways, if they get a snag in it or tear or a hole, you can repurpose that for several weeks. If you're an avid model builder and constantly mixing paints and everything else, just get you a Ziploc baggie, cut everything up into 3-inch squares. You can even cut up into maybe 2-inch squares for the smaller pieces and put them in separate bags. And if you're using a cup like this, I would use a 3-inch square. If you're doing it right into the bowl of your airbrush, the 2-inch square would be fine. But it is a way to ball on a budget and save a few dollars along the way. Pantyhose aren't made out of wood. Nylon, I think that's what they're made out of. So I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me down in the comments. But Ron's got a great point. It is a super duper alternative to buying paper filters. That really, You use it once and you got to throw it away. It's done. As where somebody's constantly using and wearing pantyhose due to their job, let's just say profession, or for appearance, that is a good alternative if you can find a friend and hey, when your wife's out with her pantyhose, you mind? I'm not freaky like that. I just, I use them for straining paint. They'll collect them and save them for you and give them to you. Yes, that's money you don't have to spend because somebody's donating something to you, or if your wife, your grandmother, whatever, they'll give them to you. And you can just, like I said, take 15 minutes, cut them all up in squares, put them in bags, put them in your paint area in a drawer, and when you go to mix up paints, pull them out and put them on, use it, and then throw it away. You can try cleaning it out in thinner or whatever really good. The paint is going to adhere to that over time really, really well. I know with paints in the stainless steel, as long as you clean it right away, you won't ever have no issues, because this is the same thing, only enlarged, that I use for 3D printing, and I've got that resin going through it. And here's the kicker: when it gets to where it starts clogging it up, I put it in the cure, and it hardens it, and then I just tap it, and it all falls out. So I've had those for over a year, and they're still like brand new. So this is what reinforces my decision and opinion on this. Now, if I had pantyhose available to me all the time, that's what I would use. Most definitely. If I had somebody giving me paper filters, yes, I would use them. I'm not as comfortable using them because at the end of the day, they're a waste. They're 100% waste. Pantyhose, they got worn for a purpose. It's like part of your uniform. It gets you to work. You're legit for work. You're not going to get written up or fired over it, and it pays for itself. So then when it goes away, it becomes waste. But if you can repurpose it, that is a good thing. These, I'd pop the bottom out, cut it out, whatever, put this in a recycling tub. Same as I put these in, my pipettes. Even when I'm done with like containers like this, they break on me and they're no longer good. I put those in recycling, so it all gets recycled. Just doing a little part, what I can do. Again, like I said, I'm not a tree hugger. But now you've got the prices, you know what it would cost you. I'm sure that shipping price would vary depending on where you're at in the world or in the United States. But there's the comparison. For 50 paper filters, it is basically the same price as 2 of these. In a month and a half, maybe 2 months, I'd be out of those 50 paper filters. Once I mix up 2 or 3 paints, I mix up some clear, and then I cut it up and pour it into my airbrush again and strain it. It's twice as many, so I'd be using 6 to 7 filters each time I did a paint session in my paint booth. Go through those 50 filters pretty quick. So that's just, this guy's just my opinion. I'm not telling you to stop using paper filters if that's what you're good at and that's what is accessible to you and you don't mind spending the money, more power to you. Just keep in the back of your head that, the more paper we use, the more wood we use, the more everything, it's got to come from somewhere. And I think when you get a little older in life, you start being more aware of your surroundings and the importance of things. I'm never going to make a difference. I know this, but if I can do my little part, I can feel a little better about, from what the earth was and what it is now, and where it's going. So, again, just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. If any of you have bought these already and used them, let me know what you think. Wasn't worth it? Was worth it? You're just set on using paper filters? You like the pantyhose method? Or knee highs, whatever you want to be comfortable calling them. Or I know you can get mesh like this. And if you're careful, you can bend it and shape it. And it can saddle in here, and you can use that and clean it out and reuse it also. There's probably 1,000 different things you could use to strain your paint. It's the matter of the size of the screen to take those particles that would be in the paint that we use, and even really any kind of paint, really, that's so fine, it's going to take out at least 90% of any particles that be in our paint. That other 5% would be so fine and you wouldn't see it. And if you did, that would be easy to take out. Beats not using one at all. So again, let me know what you think about that. Leave it down in your comments. Again, Ron, thank you for the tip. I wish my wife used them. That would have saved me $21. But if I had just go buy pantyhose on my own, the cost of them would exceed what I paid for these that are just reusable, and a lot easier and less things to mess with, and it's quicker. I can put this right down in my bowl of my airbrush, and I can pour my paint through it and into it, mix it up, whatever. I won't have to double strain it. I can just strain it one time into here. If I'm putting it into a jar, like another mixing jar, guys, this is just an example. I'll take the lid off this just to show you. That would fit right down on the top of that, and I can pour whatever paint I mixed up. I can pour the excess into a clean jar and filter it out before it goes in the jar. And when I'm ready to use it, I can filter it again when I pour it back into my cup. So it's just taking a couple seconds and clean this out in between uses. It's nothing. You're sitting there doing stuff already. Doesn't take no extra work. So that's just part 2 of that. I didn't want to blend it into another video. Honestly, I don't know if I'll get another one out this week. I've still got quite a bit of stuff to do this week. As the summer winds down, my outdoor responsibilities, so to say, will wind down as well also, and it'll give me more time in here. But again, thank you to Ron up in Canada. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate every one of my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe down below. Hit that bell notification up there, right there in that little corner there. And that'll let you know when these videos come out. Again, I'm not sponsored by Hobbyist Haven. That would be sweet. But again, I don't have enough through my channel, enough turnover to really benefit another sponsor of that magnitude anyways. But he is a lot like Mark at Hobby Nut Models. He has other things. He's got paint shakers, paint stirrers, pipettes, paper filters. These mixing cups, these are a 6-pack, and it's a good price. Actually, for a 6-pack is what I paid for 2 of them, so at Hobby Lobby. Now, yeah, the shipping, that's a different story, but still, airbrushes, paints, the 3D printed stuff, the model kits. He has all that stuff, so definitely give him at least a check out and see if it's beneficial to you. So let me know if you ever do get something from him and you use it. Were you satisfied? And I'll let you guys know, or we'll do a quick little video. I don't have anything really to paint. I'm sure I'll have something to paint soon, and we'll use this and I'll show you how they work and how well, or how not well. And then we will go to plan B. So, till then, guys, enjoy your week. Spend it with family. Build a model. Go down and check out Mark's link. Go to Hobby Nut Models. Get you a little something. Over time, it will benefit this channel. So when I do order stuff from him, if there's enough there, it can help with the shipping. And as any of you know, shipping is ridiculous, and we all got to pay it. There's no way around it, other than going to a show and buying it direct. So that's it. Any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll answer everything to the best of my knowledge. If you're like me, just go check it out on your own. Hobbyist Haven. That is Hobbyist space Haven, H-A-V-E, and Google search, and it'll bring up their thing. Go in there, and got a nice website. It's easy to follow, easy to pick and choose, and peruse through, just like Mark's. Not identical, but just as easy. So definitely check them out. These are going to be money. They're great. They cost a pretty penny. I mean, this is $40-something here in my hand, plus shipping. It's $50-something. uh, but a lot of use out of it. And I saved my 3D printed resin after it's been cured. Uh, I'm just waiting for a way to dispose of it properly. So I keep it in boxes. And I've been looking, maybe some of you know, you can let me know that too, a way to dispose of it properly. I don't like just throw that into the trash. Again, like I said, I'm trying to do my part. I have thrown it into the trash, and then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, hey, what are you doing, dummy? So now I try to keep it separate and in its own thing, not mixed in with plastic like this, but I want to figure out a way that I can dispose of it properly. So if anybody knows that, please leave it down in the comments, or send me an email. My email is always down below. And if I get a chance Friday, I'll come in and we'll do an update. I've just not had time to work on anything really, and today is Wednesday, so we'll see what tomorrow holds and what Friday holds. And if I get something done on something, then we'll take a gander at it. Until then, it's Rusty Rotor. I'm out.